Anyways, finally, no Christian Triple X clips. Finally, and like I think we kind of forgot about this. I didn't think he was actually going to release this video.
Yeah, this took actually a long time. I thought he already did.
It's been a couple months. Hey, what's up, Abyss? If you guys recall, Gaming the Systems a few months back, he said that he was going to take an autism test. He finally took it. So this is the video. This is so great. Do I have autism?
So why post a video about autism on a channel that's about retro video games? Well, for one thing, it's easy views, but also it's
I love him. God bless this man.
Something that occasionally comes up in the comments beneath my videos.
You seem autistic,
It could be because I remind them of someone that they know who has been diagnosed with autism, or it could be because I speak in a very informational
No, we haven't, Frendo. This is brand new.
Videos.
Here you can see the spring-loaded mechanism that helps ease the...
See, Frendo, you're confused because all of his videos are very autistic. Whereas, like, this is him, I assume, confirming he has autism. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know.
Switch into the USB-C port.
Now I'm going to recut the cardboard for the two windows. And now I'm going to plug it into this switch box right here.
There is a little gate that holds it in. Raise the gate and pull it out.
Or they could infer autism by the fact that I put a lot of work into the organization of this video game setup in here. And some people may see that as an autistic trait, but all these things could also mean that I'm just a big nerd and nothing else. Either way, I did get tested to see if I have autism, and today I'm going to share with you the results of that. And I'm also going to get into my backstory more so.
Wow.
Hi, my name is who? My name is what? My name is Wicca Gaming the Systems. Dude.
Holy shit.
I mean, look, every white guy in 1999 was bleaching their hair. I'm not going to give him too much shit. But, you know, it is funny that he's posting this. He's got like a rat tail or something. I don't know. That's not the Slim Shady.
No, that's
Slim
like
Shady would be like
that's just like scum. That's just like trailer trash.
Yeah.
It's the King Scatterberg.
Kane's Fun Center.
So than I've ever done on this channel before, including some very dark things. I think you'll find this video entertaining, and I think you'll find it informative. And so just sit back, relax, and let me tell you my story.
For the majority of my life,
you suspected you did, or you just did because of the comments, right? Why did he suspect he had it?
Well, let's hear him out.
Occurred to me that I may have autism. It wasn't until several years ago that I began entertaining the concept. After a particular moment I had, I was walking with my wife at a nearby park.
I mean, he can't be that autistic to get a wife.
Okay, so I have never, ever in my life thought, hey, I might be autistic. I have had a lot of people tell me that my behavior is autistic. But I have never once been doing anything and been like, I feel like if you have autism, you do not think you do a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, you might be.
I might barely be on, and it's just like.
But if you are, behaviors. if it's like, it is certain behaviors. And also like, you I don't want to get into the whole thing, but yeah, no, you probably are autistic.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Talking about it.
You have problems with like emotionally expressing yourself, too, in like in certain situations. So I think you're definitely on the spectrum a little bit. Play, God damn it.
Just enjoying the nature and chit-chatting. And at some point in our conversation, she said two very surprising things to me. She said, I think you may have autism. I'll get to the second thing she said a little bit later. I pretty much dismissed what she said. After all,
wow, look at that picture of him.
Why is he showing these old pictures? He doesn't have to show these old pictures.
In college. And even though I didn't go into the psychology field, over the years I still followed many of the developments in the world of psychology. I viewed autism as a very debilitating thing that happens at a very young age, and I know it can have a huge effect on the entire family. Surely, as someone who is very self-aware, I would know if I had autism, especially at this point in my life when I'm in my 40s. But in the weeks following what my wife said to me, I did start to look deeper into it. I studied more closely the symptoms of autism and began reading the testimonials of people who have it. I started to see some similarities between those people's characteristics and my own. I learned how varied it can be from person to person. Of course, anytime you dig deeply into any health-related matter, you end up thinking that you have it too. Just like if you start Googling about headaches, you all of a sudden think you might have cancer.
When I was reading the testimonials of people who were diagnosed with autism late in life, a lot of them said, I've always gone through life feeling like an alien because I thought differently from everyone else, and I just felt like a different species. I also felt like that growing up sometimes. I would think, why is everyone so different from me? That was the thing that
That's what a lot of people think
to get this assessment done. I wanted to know whether or not there's something about me that's different from everyone else. And so
well, it's not from everyone else. There's shit tons of autistic people.
Yeah.
Yep, I have autism. I don't know how to announce it any clearer than that.
Oh man, that is so great.
That was
so fucking great. Yeah.
Great job with the reveal there. It's just,
we all, the comments were right.
Yep, I have autism.
Rock on. Dude.
We gotta get that drop for the stream.
Yep, I have autism.
That's awesome.
I don't know how to announce
That's true, Frendo.
Clearer than that.
I declare autism!
Yes!
Oh, nice.
Dude,
Nice.
I love GTS, man. He's the best.
He's getting good. I hope he's watched some of our videos and he's like, you know what? I'm going to start playing into some of this shit.
Yeah.
He's got to. It's the only way. If you watch this Gaming the System, it's the only way. Be that guy.
Well, yeah, I mean, he doesn't understand what he has. Like he's like, oh, there's all these retro gaming channels. It's like, nah, man, you got something special.
Yeah, dude. Like we watch you, but we look forward to you putting shit out so we
every
can watch
week.
it.
Every week.
I don't look forward to anything Cinemassacre is going to put out that we're going to watch because it's going to drag on. I don't want to see things. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
At this point, it's like he's terrible. But like this guy, I want to see what this guy's going to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Every week, before, like, as I'm like prepping the stream, if we don't have anything, if we don't have any content, like really like stuff like ahead of time, I go through like our people that we like look at and see if there's any. And man, when I saw this video, I know you got it beforehand, but like when I saw this video today, I just like put me in a good mood.
How this test is administered, it is a 2-day process. On the first segment of the first day, I was sitting in front of a licensed psychotherapist who has a PhD, and they were asking me a bunch of questions, and she laid out some things on the table to react to and asked me to.
It's hard not to nowadays, Eternal Abyss.
Stuff like that. The rest of it was like a bunch of assessment tests.
She just showed him videos on trains.
It's kind of like this assessment test. You
Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah, who is your favorite train in Thomas the Tank Engine?
Harold the Helicopter.
Yeah, he's more of a Theodore or the tugboat.
Yeah, I like the bus. I like the bus.
I think those face-to-face observations she made of me during that first session shaped what kind of tests she gave me. Either way, it took a long time to do. So if you're thinking about doing this, just make sure you eat something before you go in there. It's a very long write-up but I'm going to read to you the
Hell
top
yeah.
line result here. Given the
Shout out to
data and
trains.
behavioral observations gathered during this
Shout out to my
evaluation,
trainhead.
in addition to the history of behavior described by Kevin, it appears that Kevin meets diagnostic criteria for autism spectrum disorder. He displays deficits in social emotional reciprocity, deficits in nonverbal communicative behaviors used for social interaction, and deficits in developing, maintaining, and understanding relationships.
Kevin is such a Chad. Like
Yeah.
this like heavy amount of autism, and like he still manages to bag like a really good mid, like his wife.
A mid-tier broad like her.
Yeah, like really.
And keep her.
He also
And all the systems at the same time.
Oh yeah, and he's got like every system. He's got a fucking
He's balancing every system and a gal. Like this is like every kid's like, oh, but can I still have every system? Like when you start like
you
realizing
get
I'm
pussy
gonna have a
and
girlfriend.
every system.
You're like, but I'm probably not gonna be able to have every system plus a girl to fuck.
That rules.
Or
man.
can I?
also displays insistence on sameness, highly restricted, fixated interests that are abnormal in
Sorry, that was
intensity
pretty
of
good.
focus, and hyper-reactivity to sensory input. That last thing is a big one, and I'm going to be talking about that soon.
Ooh.
So how did it feel to have my
She's probably
mental guts
autistic.
explained in such a way? I wasn't sad, I wasn't stunned, and I wasn't emotional. But I did have this feeling that I had made a big discovery about myself. It's kind of
I
like
made a
that
big
episode
mistake.
of The Simpsons
Yeah.
where they find a crayon that was lodged in Homer Simpson's brain, and it had been
I
there a
forgot
long
about
time.
that one.
Just like him,
good
I
one.
had discovered something about my brain that I did not realize. Even though autism,
I think I
isn't
gotta
something you
rewatch
can be
those,
cured,
that era of
I'm
The
glad I
Simpsons,
know
like,
I have it. I think it
Seasons
puts me in a
like
position
10
where
through
I'm better
15,
able to do
9
it.
through
Yeah.
I
15,
didn't
sort
keep
of.
this
They
diagnosis
degrade,
to
but
myself. I pretty much
it's
told
not
everyone
bad.
about
Yeah.
it. My
careful.
family and my
careful.
coworkers.
I mean, no, because
I
like
felt
those
it
are
would
like
bring
kind of the ones I
understanding
grew
to
up
them
with more
the same way it
than.
brought understanding
Just
to
be
myself.
careful,
And I felt like it was
dude.
good
Yeah.
to bring awareness to
Watch
the
out, be
subject. There's many
cautious.
other autistic
Yeah,
adults out
don't
there
get
who have never
too-
been assessed, and they may be struggling. So
crazy.
maybe if I come out, they might see some similarities with me, and they may go get tested themselves if they wish.
I don't
As
know if
far
I
as
like
the
this
reactions
switching
I got from
between, like,
people.
16
Some of
bit
them
graphics
just
and then
didn't
whatever the
believe
hell
it was
this is.
true,
Yeah.
and others were like, "Yeah, that
Double
explains a lot, Kevin." But many didn't have a reaction at all. At least not openly. It's obviously a prickly subject matter, so I was expecting some
What
non-reactions.
is this game?
That assessment was done 3 years ago, so I've had a lot of time to reflect upon it, and I've had a lot of time to reflect upon
That was him as a kid? No
His
way.
eyes.
Yeah, no way.
my own past through this new lens of knowledge I have about myself. There's certain events that have happened, and I can now look at them and say, oh, that must have happened because I was autistic. I remember this one instance at work. Before I suspected myself of having autism, they sent a person to observe me. It's a large
Huh?
company with a lot of departments. So sometimes they trade people to observe what the other departments are doing. We called it shadowing. So this person came over, and I've never spoken to
That
them
must have
in
been
person
so
before. But
uncomfortable
as
for
I
that
was
person,
explaining
'cause he
my
must have been-
job responsibilities to them,
Well, I've dealt with weirdo autistic people at my job, like training. I've had to train some dude. I had to train somebody, one girl who just like couldn't keep up with me. Like, and I mean, like walking, and I was getting pissed.
Literally could not keep up with you.
Yes, I was just like, no, we need to walk fast. We cannot walk this slow.
Yeah.
Like, we gotta go.
Oh,
Like,
I
can,
feel
like,
you,
come on,
dude.
we
That's
gotta go.
that annoyed the shit out
Like,
of me.
Yeah, it was crazy. She was just walking so slow, and it was I just couldn't get it. I was like, what the fuck is she doing?
I've always
Like,
hated training people at jobs that I've
I'm
had.
training
Yeah.
2 hockey bros right now. I think one of
Hockey
them-
bros.
Yeah, like they moved out here from Colorado to play hockey up
Yeah.
here.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, one of them put a copy of Chrono Trigger for the DS in with the $4 games.
Wow, dude.
I almost sold it.
Holy shit, dude.
Ted caught it.
Wow, dude. You're lucky I didn't get that.
Yeah, we lost out on like $71.
Yeah, that
Jeez,
would have been
dude.
nuts.
Yeah, training people sucks. What the hell was he talking about? Training people or
she
something?
all of a sudden said, you said that with no emotion on your face at all. She wasn't trying to diss me or anything. It didn't come across that way at all. I didn't think much of it. But now I realize that I have this Vulcan demeanor to me, and it's mostly
Vulcan demeanor.
I do
That's
feel
awesome.
emotions, but they don't always come out through the expressions on my face. And I'm not always aware of how blank my face is. I usually don't cry at funerals or weddings. There can be some benefits of being in control of your emotions. A non-emotional person may be the best person to turn to in an emergency because they're thinking more clearly.
I do want to mention that just because I've been diagnosed, that doesn't make me an expert on autism. If you or someone you know
you're an expert now.
Traits I'm describing.
Yeah, you gotta fucking talk on it all the time.
The only way to be sure is to go out and get tested. One of the most noticeable autistic traits I have is my hypersensitivity to sound. When a surprising sound happens, I jump.
Yeah, that's good for playing video games, dude.
And what I mean by surprising sounds is if someone comes up to my desk and all of a sudden starts talking to me, that makes me jump. It could be a door.
Or you're playing a video game and something gives you a jump.
Like because someone might drop a glass, someone might sneeze, and there's all kinds of weird noises coming from the kitchen. I end up jumping while the other people who are eating around me don't react at all. It's a split-second reaction.
Thank you for filming an example.
When I do it.
That was
My
cool,
ears
yeah.
are just
I like
overreacting.
Glad I got to see what it was like.
That I'm actually hearing a louder version of those sounds than other people are. Because my brain is just perceiving it as this big, loud sound. I'm also distressed by loud, constant sounds, like a hairdryer, motorcycles, leaf blowers. When I mow the yard, I always have to wear earplugs. And it's not just to protect my eardrums, it's just because it's a distressing noise to me. And like I mentioned, I believe I'm hearing those things on a higher scale than the average person. On the other hand, I do listen to heavy metal, so I don't know what that has to say about me. I also have deficits in executive function, and I may not fully understand it, and it's a really hard thing to explain.
I don't know. I just don't get it how he can play video games and not mention that. Like
things that
there's constant loud noises and surprises that happen in video games.
He just told you he's a metalhead, dude.
Bank lobbies are very confusing to me sometimes. I go in there to do certain things, and I see a counter with people at it. I see these islands that have paper forms on them. I see people off to the side at desks around a waiting area. There's a lot of reasons for going into a bank, and for a lot of those reasons, I'm not sure which direction I need to go to. Do I need to go to the counter for what I
have never heard of this.
Or do I need to go to the people in the desk?
mean,
they don't have any instructions on the walls or anything.
I mean,
I guess you know what?
Have too big.
You're
of a
right.
negative
Yeah,
effect.
I get it. Yeah.
But you go to a teller because that's what you go to.
Or you just ask for help.
Or you ask.
Just ask for help.
My bank has a help desk.
Offices, post offices, places.
Shit is confusing sometimes.
I have to concentrate really.
But then it
hard
also usually has a line of people and tellers. So.
And if I'm there for a long time, I can end up getting mentally exhausted. Especially if there's a social interaction involved, that's where I get even more exhausted. Family gatherings really take a toll on me. I often have to retreat to a quiet room or a quiet place in the house, as everyone else is socializing with each other. Some of you may be thinking,
you might be right,
I feel the
Rampart.
same way in those places. I wouldn't worry about it too much unless it's having a negative effect on your life.
I definitely, I feel tired at social gatherings, dude.
Any number of
social gatherings
so
suck.
Just begin a conversation
they just
with
suck,
a healthcare
dude. Got nothing
professional
about
if you're struggling with
being
these same
autistic.
types of things.
They just suck.
My deficit in executive function has impacted face-to-face job interviews I've had over the years. Interviews are stressful and unnerving to almost everyone, but for someone like me, there's additional challenges. I have trouble getting to the interviews, getting inside the location, and exiting from them.
Well,
Some of those large corporate buildings can have a lot of things going on. A lot of stairways, a lot of elevators, and stuff like that. Sometimes the interviewers may notice that I look a little bit lost, and they may see me me asking a lot of extra questions about the building or whatever. So to them, I may be coming across as someone who lacks a lot of street knowledge.
Oh, you're
My
damn
lack
right,
of
Sam.
eye contact and lack of emotion during the interview also doesn't help. I probably come across as awkward to them. I haven't failed every interview. There's some interviewers who just don't care about that kind of stuff. They're mainly concerned about your skills.
What?
Of my success with those interviews, I have been employed for most of my adult life. And in some ways, my autism has helped me perform well at those jobs. I think it helps me absorb information better than the average person, especially over a long period of time. My lack of executive function harms me when I first go into a job. I've seen people get promoted within months of starting, and they started at the same time as me. But because I'm so desperate to figure out what's going on, I start taking excessive notes, I ask a lot of questions, I end up accelerating my intake of the knowledge of the job, and I end up doing much better at the job after a while. And the weird thing about it is that acceleration continues. When I'm at a job, I keep accumulating knowledge about the job, and if it's a large company, I start assimilating knowledge of adjacent departments. This usually means I become very important to the employer. But
Holy shit.
This is fascinating.
Dude, did he is this like a bit where he's like, let me show him how autistic I am?
That's what it feels like.
And let me put out charts on why, what the fuck?
And let me show you pictures of me from 1999 with this weird haircut.
This has to be a
That's
bit.
unrelated. He doesn't have to show those pictures. They're totally irrelevant to what he's talking about.
It's gotta be a bit.
But there's a price to pay for having a lot of knowledge within a large company. People you don't even know send you messages and they say, oh, I heard you're the expert on this. Can you help me with this situation? I become a firefighter. When something bad happens, I get called in. I get brought into meetings and people want to know how something functions and I have to tell them how something functions. So I just
I was told you were an expert.
Useful. And my job responsibilities start to grow. And with that comes more stress. And the more tasks that you're in charge of, the less time you have for each task. So I end up performing those tasks not as well as I would if I just had a small number of tasks. Most people, when they're accumulating a lot of knowledge about the work, would end up getting promotions or being brought into management. But that typically doesn't happen with me because they know I have certain deficits. Higher positions typically involve more social interaction with people, more meetings, and supervision of other people. Management knows how awkward I can be at those things, so they are more likely to just keep me in my current role. I had to quit my last job at a large corporation because I had accumulated too many responsibilities, and it wasn't bringing me into a higher position within the company. It became this big, stressful thing I had to walk into every day.
Ooh, bullies.
Oh, no.
Now I'm going to get
Music.
into some of the dark
What is
things
that
I
from?
alluded to earlier. You probably already know this, but there are people out there that are just dicks. And they take advantage of people like me, and they come after people like me sometimes. They are called bullies. And I have been bullied not only in school, but in adult life. Throughout the 1990s,
I hope he doesn't mention us.
At a grocery store for 10 years. And during that time, I had a lot of different incidents where people just basically came after me. And I think it's because of my autism. They saw me as this awkward person, and
I mean, people
took advantage of it. Basically.
Yeah, I can see that.
So let me tell you some specific things that happened.
Customers,
I had one guy who, I don't know what happened, but
it's easier for customers to feel they can do that.
Whenever I looked at him,
exactly.
he would do a throat slashing motion. He did that for like a week.
Wait,
what?
What the fuck?
Basically, I don't know what happened, but things that happened. I had one guy who, I don't know what happened, but we had a falling out. And whenever I looked at him,
he would do a throat slashing motion. He did that for like a week. He was basically
that's fucking psycho. That's psycho, dude. That's something like
that's not bullying.
Yeah,
that's something you tell your supervisor about.
Yeah,
because
that's when you do tell the higher ups when you're having when something like that's happening. When someone's
like, dude, what? He's like what? Threatening to kill you?
That's fucking crazy, dude.
To kill me. He wasn't joking around. He did it in a very serious way. There's another guy who worked in seafood, and he came up to me one day and just tried to capture me by grabbing my arms. There was another guy.
What?
What? I can't. This guy, like, I don't.
Just play that again. I want to hear him say that again.
Worked in one day in just a serious way. There's another guy who worked in seafood, and he came up to me one day and just tried to capture me by grabbing my arms. There was another guy that worked in dairy, and he was a very angry person. And one day he tried to fight me in the middle of the store in front of all these customers, and he started screaming at me, and he wanted me to fight him right there.
I'm just gonna say, I don't think we're getting the full picture.
Yeah, if these wanted me, to fight him right there.
Why would like that like? If that was the only story that you were like telling from this place, but you're like, someone grabbed me by my arms, someone
tried to capture me,
someone kept making like death threats at me for a week.
Like that's
like for those like 3 things to happen to you, like something's going. Like he's leaving out something.
Yeah, know? What the fuck is going on? Like, why was he gonna be captured? Like, what does he mean?
There was a guy in the store working on the phones. He threatened to break my finger.
Okay, like I don't know. I'd like to know. We'll never know. We'll never know.
I'd love to know about this. Like this guy sounds like. Oh my god.
These people just prey on the vulnerable, and sometimes...
Could you imagine? He's like, hey, I told you stop looking over here. I've told you all day, stop looking over here. I'm going to break your goddamn fingers. It's got this weirdo keeps fucking looking at me.
This weirdo.
I told him to stop. I told him to stop fucking looking at me.
Yeah, there's something going on there that he's not... Like, there's more to it than just what he's saying.
This fucking autistic guy won't stop looking at me.
Or whatever, but for the most part, I didn't do anything about those things because I didn't know how to react. And I think that's one of the reasons the incidents
tell the supervisor.
Occurring. Like I said, a lot of these things happened when I was an adult. I had graduated high school and I was working at the store. But things like that also happened outside of work. There was 2 occasions where I was threatened during a game of pool from 2 different people in 2 different situations. Now, nothing like this has happened in the last 20 years. It could be because I'm not in those bars and I'm not in a grocery store anymore, but I want to think it's because...
It sounds like he was just like fucking people over somehow.
Something happened.
I mean, for those people to react that way towards him, it sounds like that's like...
That's extreme.
Yeah, people... People react that way when you've crossed them or like done something to them in a way that's unforgivable, I guess. I mean, you should forgive, but you know, I don't know.
People
we'll never know.
Maybe not. It could be because I have changed. If those things happened to me today, I think I would have a better reaction as opposed to not reacting at all. I think I would be more likely to stand up for myself.
I find it hard to read other people, and they have trouble reading me. Never has this been more problematic than in my dating life. Throughout the majority of my teen and adult life, I've been single, but it wasn't from a lack of trying. I could never figure out how to get close to someone. But you might be thinking, how did you end up getting married then? Did you suddenly overcome those deficits? I did not. You see, the person I've been married to for 17 years now is also autistic. And for 14
Oh, there we go. 17 years, man. Good for him. I'm not like God. Like again, God bless him. Like that's.
She looks kind of frumpy in this picture. You can have her.
Oh yeah, whatever. Again, for him though,
we were not aware that we were an autistic couple. During that conversation, I
she's frumpy. I don't care. I love her.
To me, I think you have autism.
She is frumpy as fuck.
She said
That's
was, I think I have autism too. So she ended up getting tested around the same time as me, and she had similar results. Her autism is a little bit different from mine. The write-up about it was different, but apparently two autistic people can find some solace in each other. But it doesn't eliminate.
No, I think that's great. I'm very happy for these two.
They're vulnerable.
You
basically have double autism. It may not make all the life situations I've mentioned.
Probably why they didn't have any kids.
Any
They're
better,
just too autistic.
Because you're
they
with
just don't have sex.
who has similar.
Yeah, they couldn't do it. Yeah.
They couldn't handle. Oh my god, the kids they would raise. Holy shit! Let's just be glad they didn't. It's like, thank you. We understand. Thank you. It's better that you didn't have kids.
He's bloated.
He's like,
I'd smash her autistic ass.
Yeah, well, yeah. I could see them in court, and like they're defending, like they killed the baby. She put it in the microwave, and he's like, she put it in the microwave because she thought it would keep it warm. You know, in his like monotone voice.
I like that was a good impression.
Yeah.
Yeah. They are autistic. You don't have to be like full like pants shitting retard to be autistic. you know, like these people, they're clearly autistic.
Yeah, clearly. Holy shit! Yeah,
that's good. That is kind of adorable though that they're both autistic and they got together.
You can tell they are autistic from the pictures, not even.
Yeah,
like pictures, dude. And like they didn't know. Like, what do you need to get tested for? Like, what are they gonna do for you at that point anyway? It's just a funny thing.
They're in
like,
their 40s. They're done.
Like me. It's like me. Oh, I'm probably autistic. Okay. What is it? What am I gonna do with that information? Go down to the fucking collect my check.
What benefit is it to you?
Yeah, go collect my check from the fucking SSI. Go down to the offices. Be like, I'm autistic.
Yeah,
like,
you'd have to put it on a little bit more if you wanted that money.
Well, even then, like, what are they gonna do if I'm not autistic? Like, so they're just gonna be like, so everyone is.
You calling yourself mom?
Oh, in that fucking Jenny and Mike thing.
Sheezer, or what did you say?
Sheezer.
Issues. Now, I wanted to have her speak in this video, but she hates being on the camera, and I didn't want to force the issue.
Oh, I love her.
You might think
she's the best,
but she does. And she has occasionally appeared in the past in some of my videos.
I love
She's been in like
on NES. It's so fun.
Did you know that's just a reskinned game? They took Doki Doki Panic and put Mario characters into it.
What?
Yeah.
So is that an old skit, or did they do that right now?
I think that's an older one. I think.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know.
Because if that's brand new for this video, like that's crazy.
I've been betrayed.
Fivehead, get out of here.
Okay, so
what if that
I threw a lot at you today, but hopefully this gives you a little bit of a case study of one person's autistic struggles.
That was for us.
Hopefully you got something positive out of it. Yeah. Hopefully you got more knowledge from it. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section.
Baker Slimy.
This guy's got a lot of Patreon members, but not enough for him.